Hello, hello, Taurus. Welcome to your July 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Taurus. And before I lay this spread down, I just want to let you guys know that all of the decks that I'm using today are listed in the description box. There's also links to my Patreon, links to work with me, and a whole bunch of other good stuff like meditations and a podcast and everything like that. So check that out. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and follow me on Instagram because there are more card pulls, more good stuff, more readings on there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down and then we will get started. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull these oracle cards, and while I'm doing this, just check in with your situation, maybe feel into the information and answers you'd like to have come up. Set your intention, take a deep breath into the diaphragm. And one more oracle card. Okay. So the truth bomb for you this month is your dignity depends on your will. So where are you applying yourself? Where are you committing? Use your fixed energy this month to actually dig your heels in somewhere that is going to be productive, helpful, and overall enjoyable for you. That's kind of the tone that's going on here. If you want something, then you need to actively exert your will in that direction and take action in that direction so it can come to life. Because it's not just about thought. I think that's a misconception. People think that manifestation is like, oh, if you want something, you just think about it. That's garbage. That's like one fragment of what's going on. So this really has to do with where you're applying your energy. And then the animal for you is spider. So you're weaving things together. This card is really important because it's showing that it takes work. Like it takes a level of mastery. So what you're wanting does need to take some time, diligent effort, and application. Like maybe there's still some healing you need to do. Maybe there's some mindset work that you need to do. Maybe there's more practical things that you need to be investing in. Whatever the case may be, just know it takes effort and work. And then we also have aging. I am one with unlimited love beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine Shakti, I think is how you say it. It's kind of a mouthful. Okay, so here's the deal. When I see this card, I'm not actually reading it as like old age. I'm reading it as feeling a scarcity around time. So like if you're in your mid 30s or 40s right now and you're like, oh my God, I'm so late to the game, you really have to reframe that. Like there's no limit on timing. And also keep in mind, people are living a lot longer these days. So just keep this as like a reminder that you're not short on time. If you have time scarcity, then that's just a perception. Okay, sometimes, yes, things get busier and sometimes things get slower, right? Yes, 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 all of those things are true. I'm not denying that. But it's not restrictive in the way that you might be feeling it is. It's again, we go back to energetics. So the central energy for you is the Four of Pentacles. This is about restriction, dialing things back. You might actually feel like you are limited in some area, or you can't do it, or you don't have the resources to make it happen, or this is a reflection of like pulling your energy back from areas that you may have been placing it. Wherever that applies for you, it doesn't really matter. We're going to see what else is going on around it, but just know that it like comes back to how are you feeling scarce? What you have shifting out is the Two of Pentacles. I think maybe you've been really indecisive or kind of humming and hawing throughout this entire time, or like, I don't know what to do. I know what I want to do, but I don't know what I should do. That type of stuff. And then you're moving into, well, I know what I want to do, but I feel like I can't, right? So there's kind of this limitation, like a lid that you're kind of putting on top of this whole thing. Let's see what the oncoming energy is. We have the Devil. There you go. So this is where you get into being able to challenge those limiting beliefs, because it really is not defined in the way you might be thinking it is. So I'm going to clarify the Devil, because this is all perception. This is all how you're thinking about it, not the reality of it. And we have Mother of Winter, Queen of Swords. So you really have to own your independent thinking, not allowing other people to project their, even though they're going to, your job is to not absorb it when they project their limiting beliefs onto you. Like, oh, are you sure about that? Oh, well, that doesn't seem realistic. Oh, really? You're not going to college? You think that that's a good idea? So even though all of that stuff might be coming up and making an appearance, there's a lot of people who are still going to be projecting onto you or making you believe certain things, right? So it's all up to you. It's your autonomy, your independent thinking is what matters most at this time. So you're really going to have to weed out like what is not serving you in terms of mindset, in terms of belief system, or like, oh, really, you think you can get a better partner, stuff like that. As well as just internal self-doubt, limitations, like a lot of the stuff that you probably want to accomplish isn't so lofty that it's not achievable. I highly doubt that. So let's see what you need to know about this month. We have the Four of Rods. So this is all home, comfort, enjoyment, just being able to be comfortable. And I think if you're experiencing discomfort right now, this is the month where you're really pushing yourself beyond the limiting beliefs that are making you uncomfortable. Because remember that it goes back to what you desire is achievable, that's accessible to you. But the primary thing that you want to keep in mind is that you're going to experience some roadblocks, you're going to experience some limiting beliefs that start to pop up from time to time, and you have to work through those things in order to come back full circle and actually get to where you want to go. So this is just reminding you that you need to kind of walk through the challenges in order to heal, repair, and get to where you're going. So you have to just kind of take charge and do things your own way, and that's where you're going to get comfort. That's where you're going to be able to like have your happy, healthy home wherever it is that you want, or whatever you're going for. But you can't just stay in the same mindset and expect anything to change. It's like you have to change your mind about it first so you can start taking different action and using your will in a way that works. Advice for you, the Nine of Rods. I know it's scary. Like, I know that it can feel like a big challenge, or like you're not going to make it, or like there's still so many steps to go before you can actually get there. And maybe you're right, maybe that's true. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, do you want to stay where you're at, or do you want to take some risks, and do something that could really have some payoff? Because all of this stuff is saying, like, it depends on your will. And then you have the Spider, and then you have like a lot of limiting beliefs that are showing up in this reading. It's okay for those to be there as long as you're working through them, right? You don't need to push them back into the closet. It's just that you have to take action anyway. And then to clarify the Nine of Rods, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like, put on your armor, do the work, do the thing, try it out, see what happens. There's no reason to limit yourself at all. Absolutely no reason. So just, you're going to have to find that internal strength in order to make this happen, and continue doing the work. Put one foot in front of the other. Just focus on one next step. You know, don't look 40 steps from now, because that's not where you're at. Stay in your lane, focus on the right next step for you, and that's it. And then also tune out the naysayers, people who are filling you with self-doubt. Okay, now let's get into the timeline. First, second, third, and fourth quarter. So this is where you're going to be starting the month of July, the Two of Coins. Same thing that we had over here. And this is what's on its way out. I think you're kind of getting into that space of, okay, I am clear on what it is that I want, because you're just going to have to pick one. And most of the time, the decision is stay complacent or take a risk. Most of the time. There are nuances, but that's generally what I see. Or it's like a decision that isn't going to make that big of a difference that people are getting hung up on. Most of the time, that's what this is reflective of. So you might be finding yourself in the middle of that, but ultimately it's kind of like if you don't have a ton to lose, like it's way different if you have like 4 kids, right? Then risks really have greater stakes. But if you're not in that position, or if you don't have other things that really need constant tending to, then you have a lot more flexibility. So keep that in mind as well. There are no limits. And then quarter 2, we have the Two of Swords. This is like feeling blind. Like you don't actually know where you're going to land or how things are going to go. And that is true, right? We can't peek around every corner or know exactly what's going to come up as it comes up. But you just have to understand that you're holding space for the right solutions, the right experience. And even if you can't see it, you have to trust first. You have to have the faith first. It's not the other way around. So you want to keep doing what you're doing, keep investing in doing the work. And then quarter 3, we have the Queen of Cups. This is where I'm seeing you start to have some payoff. So between the Two of Swords, it's kind of like the, ooh, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is the right idea. And then it seems like you actually have more energy to fill your cup. And then as a result, you can get more things done. So it's going to get easier as you move through the month. It's just that being blind, might make you feel frustrated, uncomfortable, any number of things. So it gets easier in the third quarter. And then wrapping up the month, we have the Queen of Coins. Beautiful. So once you step into the emotional comfort, the material comfort comes as a result. Some of you might have bigger challenges with that than others. Just know that material follows feeling. And that's always true. It's never, it can be the opposite, but it usually doesn't stick. So that's something that you really want to exercise and practice if you're focusing on like getting more money, material goods, anything like that. It's prime your physical being with the feeling of it, and that's what can help you become a magnet for it. Okay, and then let's do a 3-card pick. So you're welcome to ask a question, ask for clarity, ask for guidance, whatever it is that you need. Pick as few or as many cards as you'd like. Card number 1, 10 of Wands. You have probably overloaded yourself or taken on too much. Take a break, relax. Like sometimes if you have 10 plates spinning, you're going to need to delegate, set some things aside just for your own sanity. So it's kind of like you're going to have more energy if you slow down rather than trying to work through everything in a rush and then feeling continually burnt out with your never-ending to-do list, right? The tasks will always be there. The stuff to focus on, the stuff to stress about, the relationships to worry about will always be there. right? You don't need to give them more energy than you already are, so pull it back. Card number 2, we have the Eight of Pentacles. You're going to have to do the work. Like, you really have to apply. This is about applying your will, right? Like what we first had, applying your energy. If you want to heal from something, you have to actually do the work. You have to show up. You have to invest. If you want to build a business, or if you want to get a job, or if you want to get through school, or if you want to find those resources, you have to build and construct it. You have to show up for it first. So that's what this is saying. Do the work, because that's where you're going to see the most benefits. Just take one step after the other. And then card number 3, we have the Queen of Cups. Once again, focus on filling your tank right now. I'm getting that that's really important. This is the Queen of Self-Care. Okay, she knows how to give back to herself. And that's something that's really important for you to get all of this stuff done and make these things happen, no matter your circumstances, right? Whether they be extraordinarily challenging or whether they just be based on some limiting beliefs. Wherever you're at, filling your tank is probably where I would focus for you. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I absolutely appreciate you more than you could possibly know. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. You're welcome to click that bubble right there. And I'm creeping up on 50,000 right now, so I'm super excited. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. That is where you can get more content, more readings, all sorts of good stuff that you get for free, as well as my podcast Sunday messages if you are interested in more of the energetic, intuitive healing, stuff like that. All of that is on my podcast, which is in the description box. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, that is also available in the description box. And another thing that I just launched recently is my meditations, and so those are available for you to get on my website. They are more of a class style, so I teach you energetic tools, and that's more for those of you that are interested in the intuitive development piece, learning how to access your own intuition. That is now available for you as well, loaded with tools. So I hope you guys enjoy those if you check those out. And if you are interested in more of the tarot readings, then make sure you check out my Patreon. I do love and relationship readings, which come out every month, that are big readings like this, but they are sign specific. And I also do weekly sign specific readings, the big circle, oval readings that I do. And those come out every Friday. So there's a whole bunch of different tiers for you to choose from. And until next time, have a beautiful July, everybody. I am sending you so much love and support. Don't forget to watch your sun, moon, and rising signs if you haven't already. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.